Jesse Houston here at Searcraft, and uh, I've got to make an announcement that many of you may have suspected or expected for a while. Um, I've got to shut down Searcraft officially. Um, and so I want to share a little bit about how I plan to move forward with making sure that current customers are supported, um, getting refunds to people that are still waiting on refunds, and um, just share a little bit about how we got here, um, and I guess just make it official. Um, this has been on this has been a possibility for a long time, as some of you may know or expect. Um, it's been a struggle the whole way through. Uh, 10 years, 10 years of just grinding myself down to nothing repeatedly, and then getting up and trying to rebuild and doing it again. And um, the past couple of years, especially, it's been um, I've been unable to continue that. Uh, it's been uh, it's been too much. Um, uh, um, what order do I want to talk about things in here? I guess, you know, let me talk about how I plan to try to continue to support existing customers and get people refunds who've been waiting on them. Um, a couple ways to support existing customers is I want to keep making myself available for tech support if people are having issues with their wheel, trying to figure out how to program it or troubleshoot something. Um, you can email support@searcraft.com. That's going to go directly to me, and that's going to be probably the quickest way to get answers to anything. Um, I'm trying to determine whether or not there's another manufacturer out there who would be interested in taking on the design, taking over the brand. I've got a lot of documentation on production processes. I've got CAD models of everything, lots of pictures and video of all the production steps for the LED wheels. And so that can be transferred. Or if that's not feasible, I do think that there's a business plan that could work for somebody in that if they're already set up to manufacture a similar product, um, uh, and if they're not already kind of underwater with it, um, then I think it would make sense for somebody to take on and take over. But for where I'm at, I'm so underwater with it uh, that I need to I just need to walk away from it essentially, at least from the ongoing overhead of it. And so I'm working on liquidating my manufacturing equipment here in order to offset some of the debt from this past 10 years of building this. And but I'm getting ahead of myself there. Uh, the other option is if there's nobody that's interested in taking it on, I may just open source everything so that people can support their own needs, or still somebody could take on manufacturing these, because even though the information on how to do everything and all the designs are open sourced, doesn't mean that anybody can just pick it up and do it. You've got to have a certain amount of skill and investment in order to do something with that. So that's another option. Um, and uh, so I'm working on liquidating my manufacturing equipment here, and I'm uh, planning to use that to pay down some of the debts that Searcraft has accrued, both to the bank as well as people that have decided they want a refund over the years. And so I still plan to meet all those obligations. Um, I do not plan to go through bankruptcy. Um, I just don't believe in it. I think that there's a more responsible way through this, and it's important to me to fulfill all my obligations, and that's one of the reasons I got into this so deep, is because for years I didn't want to just shut down and walk away. Um, it's always been important to me to see this through, and to build the product that I knew was possible. And unfortunately, there's too many things that I didn't account for, didn't plan for, didn't know enough about, and things that were out of my control that made that a lot more challenging, to the point where I do now need to let it go, without you know letting go of the responsibility, uh, without walking away from the obligations. I need to be focusing on projects that are scalable, and that are, for me, are achievable within my own constraints. Um, a couple specific things that ended up with me getting here where I am right now. And maybe I should start with saying, first, thank you to everybody through the years that has supported and believed in Searcraft, um, and has kind of understood that I'm trying to do something kind of impossible here, and that I've pushed through it. And there's so many people that have believed in and supported and cheered me on over the years that I wouldn't have made it this far without that. One area that I feel I really failed everybody in, including myself, is that I stopped sharing during some of the hardest points of this process. Um, and I think that really hurt um, people's trust in Searcraft. I tried to share a lot of the successes and a lot of the exciting new designs and developments, but I didn't share the hard spots, um, at least not publicly. And um, and I think I let people down with that. Uh, and maybe I'd be in a different place right now if I hadn't been afraid to share some of the difficulties and the setbacks. But here we are. All I can do is try to implement that now, even though it won't be with me continuing to make Searcraft parts. So um, so sharing is a big piece, or me not sharing is a big piece. And then in the past couple years, specifically, there's a lot of stuff going on in my family and in my personal life that have really kept me from being able to devote the time that Searcraft really needs. In 2021 and 2022, I put everything and more into Searcraft to get the Omega wheels to release to the release point, and the amount that I was putting in was not sustainable. And when kind of external life events hit over the past couple years, I was not able to keep that going. So I do want to let people know, I guess, that I did all I could and more, and um, yeah, I've reached this point, really feeling like I've identified limitations that I can't get past with it. I don't have the time to be spending in the shop. Um, if I did, we'd be in a much better place. But yeah, and I can't really give any more detail than that without kind of disrespecting other people's privacy. Uh, but um, yeah, I am really proud of what I've built. The design I think is incredible. It's what I always knew that it could be, um, and uh, yeah, I'm really proud to have built it, um, and to see it in action. Um, from what I've seen, none of the other LED wheels out there uh, can say that um, they've got a flawless history, uh, and I'm the only one that has built it to be modular so that you can quickly replace any component. Because let's face it, it's a delicate electronic device that is getting slammed around with just insane forces. Um, and yeah, it's a design I still believe in. Um, and if there's anybody out there who wants to take over manufacturing of it, I think that um, there's a good business model in it. Um, so, what else? What else to say here? I don't. I don't know. I don't know what else to say here. That's where we're at. I've got to officially end Searcraft operations here. Um, I do have some wheels here that I'll be posting. Uh, they're mostly derelict wheels, some earlier prototype LED wheels that are they'd be fine for a practice wheel. They're not uh, probably salvageable. They might be salvageable as an LED wheel if you have the right components. But I've got some wheels here that are used, refurbished, etc. Um, that I'm going to be selling to try to fund my way through this transition. And it's been a really, really fun at times and challenging past 10 years trying to make Searcraft what I believed it could be. And um, so thank you everybody who supported along the way. And and I'll keep posting some stuff as I work through this process. Um, yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.